You are tuned in to What Up Baltimore online radio. Please note that the views and opinions expressed on this channel are of the host and not of LadyJ Media. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, What Up Baltimore TV. And if you really don't want to miss any of the shows, hit that notification bell and you'll get a message every time we come on. Now, we got it from here, so sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Everybody, welcome. My name is Dr. LadyJ. We are here tonight. We got a really special show that we're doing tonight, and it is called There's a Show That I Watch. I don't know if anybody watches this show. I gotta take this off because this is annoying me. Hold on 1 second, y'all. There you go. So I don't know if anybody watches this show, but there's a show that comes on. It's called Love After Lockup and Life After Lockup. And for some reason, I like both of these shows. I watch them. I know that they're scripted, but you get attached to the people that are on the show. And so tonight, and y'all excuse me because the past couple of days I have been outside, in Annapolis fighting these bills. And yesterday there was a big rally in Baltimore, and I am so stuffed up right now until it's not even funny. But we're trying to get these bills passed, so I'll be okay. But so this show comes on. It's been coming on for quite some time, and they actually follow the lives of people who are incarcerated and who are also in a relationship. And I just wanted to talk to real people who have actually been in this situation. So some of you remember we had Toy and we had Hassan on. I think it was last Monday we had them on. And a lot of people just love them. So I asked them to come back. And one thing I love is when people come on and they are transparent. They just tell it like it is. So first of all, I want to thank you all for your transparency and openness last week when you came on. So tonight we have Joseph on the phone. Joseph is actually serving a life sentence, but Joseph is married to Gabrielle, and Gabrielle is on the phone. I have another couple that's going to be calling in as well, and they are engaged. And so I just want to talk about how do you make it work? Because I can only imagine, look, it's hard enough when you're on the outside and you're trying to make it work. But, that's a whole different dynamic of having somebody on the inside. Now, before I get started, I got to do this, everybody, because I promised the people at my doctor's office I was going to do it. I don't know what happened at my doctor's office. They shut down. I don't know what was going on. So I had to find another doctor, and it has been a journey trying to find a really, really good doctor. But I found a doctor. I told them I was going to give them a shout out today because their customer service was off the charts. So shout out to Caitlin, Megan, Marlene, Miss Nisi, Dr. Quaynu. Shout out to all of y'all for your customer service today and making me feel welcome. I truly, truly appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Because healthcare workers don't get enough praise, and I did it for 25 years. You just don't get enough praise for all the stuff that you do. So thank you so much. Now, let's get back to the story at hand. So, Hassan, how you doing?
All right.
And Toy, how you doing? I know you at work.
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming on. So, we have a couple. I want to speak to Gabrielle and Joseph first, and then I want y'all to just chime in and give them some advice because this brother is serving a life sentence, and his wife is on the outside. I was talking to her when we were in Annapolis. I'm like, "Do you get to see him?" And she was telling me it's like a 45-minute visit, but the drive there, I'm like, my goodness. So that's dedication. So Gabrielle and Joseph, welcome.
Thank you for
Now, I want you to tell us first of all. Tell us how you met because you all didn't meet while he was incarcerated, right?
Right, correct. You want me to start off, Joseph? Because he he seems to have a little different story of how we met, but I'm going to tell you my version.
Okay.
So, so this was back in 2005. We were teenagers, and we met at a cookout. One of my good friends at the time, she lived with her aunt, and her aunt's boyfriend were having a cookout. She invited me over, and me and my friend are sitting at the dining room table, and we're just talking, and in come walks this tall, light skinned, long hair, handsome young man. I look at my friend. I'm like, who is that? And I wait till he walks past. I'm like, who is that? And she says, well, that's Robert's nephew. Now Robert was the boyfriend of her.
Did she get cut off?
I don't know. She started talking, then it's not saying anything.
There we go. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Am I still on?
There you go.
Hello?
You're there. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I told her, to give him my number, and she gave him my number. He called, and we've kind of been inseparable since then until about 2007, when he was incarcerated, and he went away. But we're still going strong. So this was 2005. So it's been a long time. Um, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Trying to have a long distance relationship, because he's incarcerated in Maryland, and I'm originally from Maryland, but I now live in Pennsylvania. So it's about a 3-hour drive. And I try to get up there at least twice a month, if not more. But the visits are only about 45 minutes. So I'll drive 3 hours, sit there for 45 minutes, and drive back. But you know what? It's the best 45 minutes. So we make it work. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But when you love someone and you're dedicated to them, then you're willing to jump through hoops and do whatever you need to do to make it work.
So, when you all, I had to walk away to get Monty's call, but when you all, did I miss the part? Did you all get married while he was in prison?
No. So we are we are married.
Okay.
We are yeah, we're married.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay. So,
technically on paper no, but we're married.
okay, I
That's my
got you.
husband.
I got you.
We've been together since I was 16,
Got you.
and that's my husband.
I got you. I got you. And Gabrielle, I just, we were talking the other day, and I was just saying how that takes a lot of dedication to drive for all of those hours, and you're only in there for like 45 minutes. And I
Mhm.
wanted to ask you, like, what keeps you outside of, I know you love him and everything, but what keeps you as you're out here continuing to just fight and fight, that he has a life sentence? What gives you that fight and that drive to keep going?
Well, one, he's a wonderful man, and I couldn't envision myself with anyone else but him. Um, I've had the opportunity. I've been blessed and had the opportunity to know him and to be with him, outside of prison. Um, and he's a wonderful man. He loves me. He cherishes me. I love how he loves people, and I see the potential in our future. And and it's just I don't know. I just kind of just have this, just this. I don't know. It's just it's a thing I got for him. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like when I love my heart, and it's just,
yeah,
he's the one I want to be with,
right,
and
right.
I'm gonna fight tooth and nail until he comes home.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, his sentence is very just. I think the way that he's been treated through this whole process is it's harsh, it's unjust, and that makes me want to fight even more, to get him home.
Right.
But besides that, like, he's a wonderful man, and I couldn't envision myself with anyone else. I don't want to,
Got you. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Some people may not understand it because they're on the outside. They don't understand it. But I think that's beautiful. And if it works for you all, more power to you. Now, Joseph, what's your take? How do you feel being inside? Your wife is outside, and men are protective. Men want to be there for their wife. They want to cover them and make sure they're good. How are you coping with all of that?
Lady J, to be honest, I think you just described everything that I really feel with the statements you just made. Now, this is the most hardest thing that I've ever endured as a person, being in prison, sentenced to life in prison. Not only life in prison, but life in prison for murder. And murder, of course, the most heinous crime in the world. And every day I work and I strive to prove that I'm not broken and irreparable. That I'm worth it. That I'm value. I have value. You know what I'm saying? It's having a woman like the woman that I have, man. I constantly go throughout my day. I stay on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I do everything I can do in order to get home. Because I understand what it is to be for a woman. It's like having emotional sacrifice. Like she sacrificed everything to be in this relationship. She don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? She sacrificed her life to be with me, and I think that's such an honor on my behalf, man, to have someone out there fighting down in the Annapolis,
Yeah.
Really putting it on, you know what I'm saying, know my case, you know what I'm saying, able to articulate my case and articulate what's going on in the situation. It's the love of my life. Like I said, we've been together since we was children, but it's so hard for me because, like you said, I'm not there to protect her. I'm not there to provide, and I do the best I can from here, but in reality, sometimes I feel like that I'm not good enough, like that I don't deserve her because she's amazing. She's an awesome person. You know what I'm saying? So that keeps me in this sad, feeling and mood. At times it's like I don't have an appetite. At times it's like I don't have any joy and happiness because I'm so focused on the fight. But everybody keep telling me, man, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You got a soldier. She's gonna fight. But it's easier said than done because I'm in it. And I want to be home with her so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just take every day. I try to take it day by day. But sometimes, you feel like that closeness ain't there. I'm around 1,800 men and I'm still lonely.
Yeah.
It ain't right. This is the most harshest thing. It's the most hardest thing that I've ever experienced as a person. The feeling of being dehumanized and not being able to, just have a normal conversation with an officer to get out the cultural indifference. It's everything in here is opposite. It's like you can't go to an officer and say, "Look, man, how you doing? Good morning. Look, I'm trying to go on this pass and this and that. Oh, stand by, sir." Like everything is hard. So you have to, man, look, I'm trying to, and that ain't me. That ain't me because I've grown and I've matured.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it all the way around the board. It's not easy for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I call my wife, and what if she's not having a good day? How do I make her better?
Right.
How do I hold her when she's lonely? You know what I'm saying? How do I comfort her when she's going through things? Sometimes I tell her I love her like a million times on the phone. So much so that it's like, baby, I know you love me. You ain't gotta keep me. But I can't find the words to actually describe what I feel because the feeling is like so overwhelming at times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just imagine being in a dark hole with no one and nobody, but you hear this voice. Every time you hear that voice, you get comfort, whether it be by food, whether it be by money, or whether it be by a visit. But I still can't see anything, and I'm in a dark place. And that voice is that comfort. That's the only thing that brings me ease. And then when I can't have that voice, now I'm yearning for just the voice. And I think that I've come to be satisfied, you know what I'm saying, with just her voice. So the visits, you know what I'm saying, the commissary and everything else that's going on, that stuff is overwhelming for me. You know, and I greatly appreciate it, and I pray and I honor my wife, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely been hard, been a challenge, Lady J.
I hear it in your voice. I hear it in your
Yeah,
voice.
it's been a challenge.
And
it's hard.
That's why I wanted this couple to come on and talk to you, because they have gone through it all, and I think that they can actually tell you better than me. You know, so I want Hassan. Hassan, can you just talk to Joseph? You heard what he said?
Yes, I heard.
Can you just talk to him and because you were in that situation?
Ain't no question about that. I was in that situation with a life sentence myself, you know, and I understand your pain. I feel your pain because I've been through it. But you have to concentrate on your case and getting out, and you can't let nothing get you down. I know it's hard, and I know it's a struggle, but you have to be strong, and you have to maintain that strength, because the stronger you are, the stronger she gonna be. Cause she gonna look at you and see how strong you is, so she gonna stand right there with you. So you got to be conscious of your struggle, and you got to be conscious of your emotions and everything. You can't let it get you down. I hear the pain in your voice of being away from her, and I feel you 100% because I felt the same way. But I had to focus my mind and concentrate on my case and maintaining myself and bettering myself. That's why I jumped in all the organizations to keep your mind occupied. So get into the organizations, keep your mind occupied, and find something that you could dove into that's gonna really keep you occupied and focused. Don't let it get you down. Cause I hear the pain in your voice, man, and I know it hurt. But you have to be strong. And I know words just saying you have to be strong is just words, but you got to take them words and turn them into actions. And you know, y'all supporting each other. And you definitely can't let her see you get weak. Even though she know you're not weak. But the situation is just so harsh and so devastating that it's getting to you emotionally. I see it's you know, but don't let it tear you down. You got to get you some exercise, play some sports. You got to do everything you can to keep your mind focused on the task at hand. And the task at hand is your freedom. Everything you can find out about your case, you got to find out. Because it was a part of my case that because I was in for murder myself. But the dude that got killed, he had a gun too. But they never said nothing about that in court. They never even said anything about him having a gun. And 28 years after I was incarcerated, I wrote to the archives and asked them, did they have anything down there for me? And they sent me a box of paper, and in there was a police report saying that they got a 32 caliber revolver off the person that got killed. And that was my whole argument from the jump when I got locked up. I say, well, he was trying to shoot me. And well, they say, well, you know, well, we don't have nothing to say that he had no gun. So it just looked like you just tried to rob him, went up to him and shot him. But I didn't get this evidence till 28 years later.
Mm.
So you got to write the archives to see if they have anything for you, because them polices are vicious, man. They'll find something that saying you didn't do it, or find something that can help you out, and they won't give it to you. They'll hide it. That's how they work. All they worried about is getting you off the street, and the prosecutor, all they worried about is getting the conviction. So you have to be focused, man. And you have to remain strong, man. And be positive. You got to stay positive. You got to eliminate anything that's negative in your life, in your path. You eliminate it out your life. If somebody in there that you're hanging out with and he always negative, yo, I got, go about your business. I'm going to school. I'm going up to the organization meeting. You got to get away from them, because that negativity inside the joint is easy it's easy to be transferred to another person because you behind them bars and you frustrated. And it'd be easy to just jump into something negative. But you have to remain strong and stay focused. You understand me?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that with me, man. Thank you.
Ain't no question. Because, I was there for 37 years. And I married my wife twice because when Glendenny came on TV, because I was 2 weeks, because during this time they had pre-release and work release for us. We was, advancing through the system. And I was 2 weeks from going to pre-release and work release. And then the guy, Rodney Stokes, he was a lifer. He was on work release. And he killed his girlfriend and then killed himself. So the governor put all the lifers back, took them all out the work release programs, and put all of them back in prison into the lowest they could go was medium. And that killed my pre-release status. That killed me from going to work release and everything. And he said, life means life. Y'all never getting out of prison. I'm not letting y'all out. And he was the governor. And he had the control over whether we get out or not. Because if the parole board approved you for the parole, the governor had the last say to say yes or no. And everybody that was coming up that the parole board was giving parole to, because some of them guys that got checked in off of work release was on work release 8, 9, 10 years and had jobs and was supporting their family. It was one man named Mr. Strong. He was paying for his daughter apartment and everything. When he got locked back up, his daughter lost her apartment and everything. And he died in prison because he was so messed up from the situation. I mean, he just lost hope and went down. So I divorced him. I made my wife leave me. I took her off my visiting list. I said, go ahead about your business, baby. The governor said we're not never getting out of prison, so you don't have no future with me. Go on about your business. And what? I'm not going nowhere. She fought me all the way, but I forced her to go because I was looking at it like I'm never getting out of prison, and ain't no sense of her staying with me because I'm a dying prison. That's what the governor said. And then when the Unger situation came up, I came out, and she always kept in touch with me, and we got married again.
Yeah. Joseph, that's your phone. You want to call back?
Yeah, I'm gonna call right back, man.
Okay.
And Hassan, thank you for taking the time to talk and to share and to encourage, because
thank you for that.
Yes,
thank you. Because you know what really hurts me the most is when I hear him like this. Hold on one second. He's calling back.
Okay. All right, we're going to give them time to come back. If anybody wants to call in, the number is 443-297-4753. You can actually call in if you have a comment, if you're in that situation, you have any questions, feel free to call in and let's talk about it. So go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, I was just saying that the thing that really hurts me the most is not the time that he has, not the way because I miss him dearly. Every day I miss him. But the thing that hurts me the most is when I hear him like this, because I believe in God, and I believe in God wholeheartedly, and I know that He has a plan for me, and I know He has a plan for Joseph. So when I talk about our relationship, and when I talk about I'm in good spirits, because I know that we're meant to be together, and I know that God put me in His life for a reason, and He put him in my life for a reason, and everything has its purpose, and everything has to, and I know that things are not going to happen on our time. It's going to happen on his time, but I know it's going to happen. So I'm content with that. I'm content with our relationship. I know where we're at. I know what he means to me, and I know what I mean to him. But the thing that hurts me the most is when I hear him like this, because I don't like to see him hurt. And I know how much being away hurts him. Yeah. I know how much he loves me, and I know how much he wants to be with me, and I know how much he wants to build a family with me, because I don't have any kids, and that's the one thing I want most in the world. And I know that's the one thing he wants to give to me. And when I hear him like this, it hurts me. It really does. It hurts me to death. But I try my best to like keep him in good spirits, but I'm not always happy all the time. I'm not always happy all the time. So it's hard for me sometimes to make him happy when I'm not happy. But and that's why I said this is not easy. Yeah. This whole thing it's not easy. Right. But when you love someone, you make it work, and you make it work the best you can. But we've had our bumps in the road, we definitely have. But when it all comes down to it, when it all boils down at the end of the day, that's my husband, and that's who I want to be with, and that's who I'm going to fight for tooth and nail. You see, I've been up in Annapolis all month. I've been fighting for him, because as he said, he's incarcerated for murder, but he didn't commit that murder. And it's something called, and I don't mean to go off track a little bit, but it's something called felony murder, and that's one of the legislations that are up this legislative session. It's a very important bill, that's up and that's being talked about and that's being presented, and we need to get this passed, because felony murder is guilty by association. Yep. If you're committing a felony, or if you're involved anyway in a felony, and during that felony somebody loses their life, even if you were not the one to take their life, you get charged with first degree murder, and that is not right. So if anybody feels like that it is not right for a person to go to jail for the rest of their life for a murder that they didn't commit, I beg and I plead for them to call their local legislators and let them know that they support Senate Bill 850 and that they want it passed, because this felony murder rule should be abolished in Maryland. Right. You shouldn't be able to sentence someone life in prison and call them a murderer that they did not commit. Right. That's wrong and unjust. So, like I said, it's not easy, but we make it work the best we can. And he knows I love him with all my heart, and he knows I'm always going to be here, and I'm always going to fight for him until the day I die.
And let me ask you a question before I bring Toy on. Do you have any family members or friends who say things like, why are you doing this? Or you're crazy for spending all your time, and he has life. Do you ever get that?
To be honest, I really don't. I don't have any friends. To be honest, I really don't. I really don't that I call friends. But my family is supportive. My family loves him. Like I said, we've been together since we were young. My family knows him. My family loves him. My mom calls him, her son. My dad loves him. I have 3 brothers. My brothers love him. He's family. Okay. So, they support him, and they support me. And they still support the decisions that I make. They know our relationship, and they know that I love him, and they know what type of man he is. And they feel like if I'm happy, then they're happy.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, because I know a lot of, especially females, who get a lot of flack for, they feel like family members feel like they're wasting their time for being in a relationship, especially with somebody that's doing a life sentence. And again, just to reiterate on what you said, that felony murder bill, that can happen to anyone. So that's why it's important to go down and find out what these bills are all about, and be there when it's time to vote and speak, because some of these things that they put in place, man, if you don't know, It could take
You
your
can get
whole
caught
life
up.
away. Yes.
You can get caught up real quick. And real quick, um, I talked about this in my testimony, and I kind of want to, because a lot of people don't know what felony murder is. People hear felony murder, and really all they hone in on is murder. Mm-hmm. And they think, oh, well, if you kill someone, then you should go to prison. That's not what felony murder is. And I talked about this a little in my testimony. There was an article in the Maryland Daily Record that came out June 30th, 2022. Its title is Time to Abolish Felony Murder in Maryland. So anybody can Google it. And it speaks about a 20-year-old boy. He was at a party and learned that his friends wanted to rob a local drug dealer. So he lent his friend his keys and he went to sleep. During that robbery, someone accidentally died. Mm-hmm. That boy who lent his friends his car keys, that wasn't at the scene of the crime, that did not commit the murder, and could not even have foreseen that a murder was going to occur. He got life in prison for felony murder. Because he left his friends his keys, knowing that they were going to commit a robbery, but didn't know that had no knowledge, no intent, didn't know anyone was going to get hurt. But someone ended up accidentally dying, and that young boy is now serving life in prison.
Wow. Yep, that's what's going on.
Oh, this rule is, and it needs to be
it's definitely real, and we'll talk about before we go off how people can support it. I want to bring Toy in, and thank you, Toy, for being at work and taking the time to talk. I just wanted you to speak to Gabrielle because you've been on in the outside like she is in the relationship. So I just wanted you to speak to her.
Well, I'm going to say this to you. So, everything that you've talked about is the main issue. The thing about a relationship is that it takes two. I met my husband. He was wild. When I say wild, he was buck wild in prison. I met him because I had a brother that was in prison, and he used to invite me to functions, and I just caught eye to him. You know, at first it was just like a little love scene. You know what I'm saying? Just a little love thing. You can call me, say hey, how, and everything. I was in a relationship out of that, but it was a very abusive relationship. So I met him. I started talking to him, and I fell in love with him. Mm-hmm. I was 20 years old. I'm now 62. I would ride like you said. I would ride Eastern Shore, coming Hagerstown. I done been through so many jails. I could give you the address with my eyes closed. But the thing about it was that I seen this man that was put in my life for a reason. We got married. We got married in prison. So when we got married, I was the most. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me. My friends used to say, "You must be crazy. You must be on drugs." If that's how they felt, that's how they felt, because you cannot tell me how to run my life and how I feel. Because at the end of the day, he's still human.
Right.
So I would go. Let me tell you something. It hasn't been a perfect relationship. I'm gonna tell you, it hasn't been a perfect relationship. It's been a lot of times. It's been a whole lot of times I would go over there to see him. I would leave work, go over there to see him. And I had a relationship with. When I say a relationship, I had like a friendly relationship with a lot of the guards. I knew them, and then I got to meet them. They got to meet him. So it was just like an open book page. I would walk in there, and they was like, "Oh, he has a visit." I said, "Okay, well, we're gonna have this visit together." So they would let me in. I would tell them, "Move over. Y'all can continue talk." I would look at him. He would look at me, and he would tell the person, "Don't say nothing," because she's not a very friendly person, which I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But after that, when I got home, he always made sure. Let me tell you something. One thing about him, he was always a man about it, because when he knew I was upset, he knew it. He wouldn't even carry on no more. So he would get home and he would call, and before he could get it out, he'd say, "I'm sorry." And I said to him, I said, "You know what?" I said, "You don't belong to me. You belong to the state." I said, "Because right now, I don't run your life. I don't have no control over your life. I'm just there as a body." I said, that's how I felt. So I couldn't cut off his friends. I couldn't cut off of what he did. But what I did, I demanded respect. Because I'm like, when I come up in here, I want you to respect me. So that's how we progress off of communication and respect. Just like you say, 45 minutes, that's not a whole lot of time, because you sit there and when you reminiscing in your mind and stuff, and then you're looking at this man in front of you, and then you like, okay, I'm getting ready to leave up here, out of here. I can't take you home, baby. I feel some type of way. It's been many a times I've drove from a jail to one jail, got home. I cried driving all the way home because I wanted him to come home with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I, as a female, I feel your pain. But see, we as females, we don't show our emotions and our expressions like we should show to our significant others, because we don't always want them to know that we hurt.
Right.
We don't put our guards down. We always keep our guards up until we feel comfortable. That's what I had to do. And I would always tell guys on the street, I would always tell them. And I would tell him, I was like, somebody gave me a phone number, but I always tell him, I could talk to you. We can go have dinner. But one thing I don't ever want you to do is to fall in love, because my man's coming home. And when my man's coming home, ain't no shield. That's my man. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to actually, it's not hard to have a relationship while he's there, because he said some things just like he said, I love her. And you're right. As a man, y'all are supposed to protect us. But when our man's feet is planted to the ground and he can't move, we are your protectors.
Right.
And that's how it got with me and him. I knew he couldn't walk out the door and go buy him a pair of pants and his shoes and stuff. I would send him so many cards every month. They said, oh boy, you're the only one in the jail that gets so much mail. When the mail truck come, only thing he do is just pull out the whole thing on your bunk. Because that kept him going and it kept me going. Where I sent him a little silly card. Where when he on the phone, I say little crazy stuff about, one day this king size bed gonna belong to both of us. Not just me and these little teddy bears that's all over it. You know what I'm saying? So my words to both of y'all, if you love each other, if you was meant to be, it's going to be. You have to fight for what you want, and he has to not feel. I had to sit the phone down when I heard his voice, because I heard the tears in his heart. That's how I felt when I'm going in and out of prison, girl. I'm still thinking I'm a married woman. I'm a divorced woman and didn't even know it. You understand what I'm saying? When I had to sit in front of a judge and he reading off da 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 da, I'm looking at him, my husband, because he was still my husband. I thought, like, are you really serious? He could not even look at me. So I drove there. But when I left that court, you want to know where I went? I left the court and I went to court, the trolley, from the trolley to the light rail. I forgot all about I had a car. That's how my mind was messed up. When I got home, I already knew in my heart he was going to call. So my mind is like on, what just happened. I lost my man, and in reality, I didn't lose my man. What my man was trying to tell me, and I still didn't do it, because if I did it, I wouldn't be here today, and I married him the second time, was telling me that, baby, we can still be friends for the rest of our life. But my life is not going to be where I can do the things that you want in life, to be here and here and here and here and here. So you needed to move on, but I never moved on, because Allah had a plan for me and him. And he was like, you keep holding on and you keep on believing, you're going to get him back. He came home May 2013. I popped up down at the court. His mom was there, and that's all she could say. I'm at peace when my baby come home. When he came home, I seen him. My heart was like gone. I hugged him. He got in the truck. It was another young lady down there carrying on. I wasn't down there. Like I told her, I didn't have time for that. We got back to his house. Again, my recollection still wasn't open, and I pulled him to the side. And I did say to him, you know, don't focus on me. Don't focus on me right now. You home. You missed 37 and a half years with your mom. Go to your mom. Be there for your mom. And he did that. 4 months later, my mother-in-law passed away. But she was at peace. But every day he called me. He was out here doing his little thing. And like I told him, I'm not going to tell him what time to go to bed, what time to go up, what time to do this. And that's where we as women overstep our boundaries sometimes when it comes to a man incarcerated. Let him be free. He's incarcerated now. He's working on his case. And in the long run, he's worried about you. He's worried about why, in some sense, his voice was like, why am I holding on to her when I am not the main supplier? And my point to you is, sweetheart, you are the main supplier. Because every night that you get on that phone and you able to talk to her, you can hear her voice, you can tell her that you love her, means so much to us. Because it meant so much to me. And at the end of the day, my life was completed coming from an abusive relationship to a man incarcerated, to a man that is not only my friend, my confidence, the son I wake up to, the storm that passes through, a good father, a good grandfather. I have 10 sisters, 3 brothers. They love him to death. He's been there for every last one of them. And I lost I lost my 3 brothers since he been home. I done lost my sister. And this man has never left my side, even when he was in prison. So my word to both of y'all, don't give up. Nobody knows the road that you and her go through but you and her. Every day you get stronger and stronger, and you don't even realize that. Me and this man been together for 37 years, and I'm telling you, I hate to say it. If a billionaire came away and said, if you come with me, I'll give you this money. And here's my
Hell
hand.
no.
I would tell him, take it, because that's not going
Mm-hmm.
to buy me the love and the happiness that this man has put in my life.
Wow, Tori. Somebody's a comment from Twitter, Training with Purpose said that's a strong woman right there. They don't make them like that anymore. She needs to write a book. And you are a strong woman, and so Gabrielle, how do you feel hearing those words from Toy?
It's it it's encouraging, and it's just nice to know that I'm not the only one going through these things, but it's definitely encouraging because it gets hard. It gets hard, and sometimes you do want to just throw in the towel, but I can't do that. My heart won't let me do that because I love this man, and he is my driving force. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It does get hard, and I appreciate what she said. I'm gonna take heed to that, and I'll never give up on him. He knows that.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope he don't give up on me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a pain in the ass.
Well,
I swear.
Joseph, how are you feeling after hearing all of this?
Oh man, a lot of it I feel like that I relate to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is stuff that I admire about Miss Toll, and I admire about my wife because she go through the same stuff and it's the same struggle. and it's kind of like a mirror or a reflection of exactly what, you know what I'm saying, this stuff is. So that I know that it's true, and I know that it's possible, and I know that it can happen. So I will only have to say that it's encouraging to hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's a motivation and an inspiration to me. You know, growing up, you know, I came from bad stuff. I ain't come from a good place. Where I came from, it wasn't no love. You know, it wasn't no support. You know, I was born into a cycle of trauma, drug abuse, addiction, you know what I'm saying, domestic violence that dominated my household atmosphere. In 1983, my grandfather killed my grandmother with a shotgun, shot on her head in front of my father. Sent my father spiraled into an addiction, you know, a state of depression that was accompanied by suicidal thoughts. You know, and I was born in 1986, so by this time it had him so far in the hole, man, that I was born in it. So I didn't have a choice, you know what I'm saying, but to watch him smoke from a crack pipe and beat and rape and rob my mother. I lived in the neighborhood of crack house. So I didn't have love. So the love that she gives me is just it's overwhelming because I feel it. It's different being in here feeling love. You know what I'm saying? You're not present. It's through words, through actions. You know, when somebody show you love through actions, it means more than anything. You know? So hearing this story, man, it's like, dang, she can do it. You know what I'm saying? I know my wife can do it because my wife's strong and she represents me. You know? She wear that shit like a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? Like she let it be known where she stands. You see how she fight, been around. You know what I'm saying? So that only encourages me to know that, man, damn, I got somebody that's really, really, really representing me, man. That's the type of stuff that show me the love. You know what I'm saying? So not being there, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's hard, man. But through their story, you know what I'm saying? It lets me know that this is possible. Yes. I know that I'm getting out of it. I got a felony murder conviction. I don't even have no felonies. They found me not guilty of the felonies, not guilty of the first degree murder, the actual murder, everything. And it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And to have somebody really believe in me, you know what I'm saying, and say, look, I'm going to fight for you. I'm going front line and let your voice be heard. You know what I'm saying? While you voice this, I'm going to speak for you. Right. Like, I admire that. I admire that, Lady J. I admire that. And you because that's all I got. I don't have nothing else. That's all I got. That's all I know since I've been 20 years old. Wow. You know what I'm saying? When I'm hungry, I look, I'm hungry. That's like a baby. When a baby hungry, they cry. And what the mother do? Put a bottle in their mouth, and then they good. It's the same way that I've been. I'm not saying that I'm a baby, but when I'm hungry, ever since I've been here, she's been taking care of me, taking out her mouth to put in mine. Because I don't have anything. I don't have nothing but her. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I think that's this toy, man. It's so encouraging, man. It's inspiration. Yeah.
And this couple has been together for a long time. A long time, you know?
37 years.
Yes.
I'm about to be 37.
Yeah.
You're actually 42.
Say that again.
42 years?
I said it's actually 42 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow.
But that go to show what type of man that you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a definition of what type of man you are when I look at your woman. You know what I'm saying? When I look at the strength, when I look at everything she endured to fight. You know what I'm saying? Going through the ups and downs because it ain't easy. Going through the nights when she's lonely. You know what I'm saying? And hugging on them teddy bears and dreaming and thinking and just hearing your voice to define the comfort. I get it. I get the point of it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, man. That goes to show what type of man that you are, and it also shows what type of woman she is. Y'all being able to do that allows me, the only thing that allows me to think that I know that, man, my wife, we got that same strength. And if we don't, I'm pretty sure that we can find it in y'all. And I found it in y'all, actually. You know what I'm saying? Hearing your story, man, it's like, God damn. 37 years, I'm 37 now, about to be 37. You was in here my whole life, man. I know what it's like to be in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got 2 college degrees. I created my own youth program that's ran in prison, adopted by DPSCS. You know what I'm saying? At Georgetown University now, I graduate from that next month. I'm the lead peer in the Certified Peer Recovery Specialist Program, the largest peer program in DPSCS history. I lend services to over 500 men monthly, over 1,800 men throughout the prison, one-on-one services, trauma therapy. I'm certified in it. I specialize in the domains of advocacy, ethics, responsibility, education, mental wellness, all these things. 8 dimensions of wellness. Like, this is the type of stuff that, this is what I do. I mentor, you know. I'm on the right track, and I know, Lady J, you've been in one of the emails that got a letter from the ward and talk about the work that I do, my dedication, how I change the men around me. So I know that I'm doing. It's like, at the end of the day, ain't nothing changing with my situation, man. So it's like, how do I continue to do this? Like, how do I continue to go and push and push? You know what I'm saying? Do all this good, but ain't nothing happening for me. I believe in Allah. You know,
Joseph.
hard, man.
It's happening. You just don't see it. Just keep doing. Just keep up the good work, and it's gonna pay off in the long run.
And what what I say, Toy?
All the time.
See, the thing about it is that, you know, so to make a long story short, I felt the same way too, Joseph, about my husband 2 times. That when he started fighting, when he finally calmed down, seriously, I'm telling you, when he finally calmed down, um, he really got into his case when he finally calmed down, and he started work, and he would spend time, and he would call home. I was like, babe, where you at? He was like, I'm in the library, I'm doing this, I'm reading on this, I'm reading on that, and I'm reading on that. And every day I would say, and he would say to me sometimes the exact same words that came out your mouth. And he did. He can tell you, he would say, I'm getting tired of this shit. And I'm like, really? And that's just how I would laugh. Really? I said, I don't believe in failing. I said, I believe in pushing. And I have an organization right now, and I am a female, where 286 lifers have come home. And every year, I give a big ball for them. And I am, like I said, I am a female. I never say to nobody that I've been locked up a couple times. I really have. Uh, I've done time. When he did that 37 years, and I stuck with him every day of his life, you know,
60 seconds remaining.
and doing everything that he needed to be done. I served time with him. I served every day. I cried with him. So I don't ever want you to say nothing's being happened, because he never knew nothing was going to happen. Even he was getting ready to give up until all of a sudden he got a paper to say, oh no, we found this error in your case and now you're going home. So don't say that. Don't,
30 seconds remaining.
because right then and there is like you are giving up. And my logo is failure is not an option. And we're going to work with you. And you can constantly call me. Your wife can call me, and we can talk even when she get lonely and she just want to talk. Like I'm at work now. I don't have a problem with it. I talk to a lot of women.
We definitely appreciate you being at work, and I know you got long hours, but just taking the time to talk to these women. And it's another question for you, Toy, from Kay. Kay said, how do you become used to not having your person? The loneliness, the sadness, the not knowing for sure if he'll come home. How do you truly become okay with this life? The pain is so unbearable most days. And that's for Toy.
Faith. I kept my head up and I had faith. I didn't. I never once did I doubt that he wasn't coming. I stayed strong. Uh, I was lonely. I was lonely a whole lot of times. A whole lot of times. When I was going through some things sometimes, and I just wanted his embrace, his arms around me and stuff. When he called me, that was my embrace. When he called me and he knew We like Bonnie and Clyde. He knew something was wrong, and he like, what's wrong? I sometimes I would just cry on the phone and get my emotions out, and at the end of the day, and at the end of the night, I was okay because I knew he had my back.
Mm.
My back was never left lonely. Even while he was at Jessup, Hagerstown, Eastern Shore, I like I said, I done been through so many of them. My back was never lonely, and like I always told him, when he came and he wanted to run while he was in prison, it don't make a difference. At the end of the day, no matter what we go through, we always going to have a personal bond between each other that nobody can break.
Mhm.
And that was bond was being married to him twice, because one time wasn't, it was good, but it wasn't gooder than the second time. The second time it was wonderful, and if I'm ready to do it a third time, and the third time will be 10 wonderful years. 10 wonderful, 10 wonderful years it would have been. Just like I said, I would not trade them in for nothing. And Gabrielle, when you hang
Yes.
up, you can get my number. Matter of fact, if you have
Okay.
a pencil, you can take my number down, and you can feel free to call me. Even if you call and you just want to cry, I do not have a problem. Or you just say, I feel down. I just want to talk to somebody. We can bring up a subject, and we can, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk
Okay.
about. Because sometimes when you find somebody who's been through the same thing that you've been through, besides somebody who has never been in your shoes, they're never going to understand you.
Mhm.
They're never
You're
going to
right about that,
understand
and I
you.
think that's what I think that's and when this conversation first started and the question was asked, and I said I don't really have friends, and I feel like that's mainly because like when when you're in a situation that I am in, a relationship that I am in, a marriage that it's a lifestyle. It's not like, you know what I'm saying. It's not just for play. Like it's a lifestyle, and not everyone understands it. You
Right.
know, not everyone understands it. So it's hard for me to like connect with
Mhm.
people. You know, especially women. You know, because they don't understand what I go through on a daily basis. They don't know my routine. They don't know what, they can't relate. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, because someone will never understand you, because again, like I said, their shoes is not on your feet. They don't know your husband. They don't know your jurisdiction. They don't know your relationship. Only thing that they know is that, girl, you must be dumb as hell to be dealing with a man in prison when all these men is out here. Let me tell you something. They may
Right,
be out here. They may be out here, and that's all they are, out here.
right, right,
And
right.
that is
I
the
know.
truth. That's the honest truth. That is the truth. And that's why I stay single. That's the truth. Um, so Toy, is there a group like a support group for women like Kay and that they can be a part of?
Well, what I'm doing now, what I'm working on now, well, like I said, after I do the 10-year reunion. Matter of fact, Gabriel, that's something. Where do you live at?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Okay, you live in Pennsylvania. Okay,
Hmm.
so this is what I'm going to do. My word is my bond. I want you to come to Baltimore. You can come to Baltimore. The award banquet is May the 21st from 5 to 10. You can come in Baltimore Saturday evening if you want to, and I will pay for the hotel stay for you to stay up here. You can come. I want you to come to the fair, and I want you to meet some of the women that the men that they have actually married are lifers.
Mm,
I'm right now on this big project because, like I said, this has been 10 successful years for these men, and they got one woman that has got a life sentence that has been home for 10 straight years, no charges, no incarceration, no nothing. 10 straight years they've been working, they've been so successful. And I want you, after I'm working on that, I'm working on now a women's group for women who has incarcerated, not just men, children, fathers. Because a lot of us women, we think we know everything, but we don't know it, and we need that special structure too sometimes. Because you have some women that, even though these men are incarcerated, they still don't understand them. They still home saying, "What time you gonna be back in the house? 9 o'clock is too late for you to come in the house. Oh, why you doing that?" Let me tell you something. It took me so many years when my husband came home. I'm washing clothes. Where's your clothes at, honey? His clothes, he in the bathroom washing. He had got so prone to, I would fix dinner. And we was like, "Honey, baby, it's dinner time." "Well, is the tray ready?" See, that's the mind structure that they have. You understand what I'm saying? And some women get so offended behind that. But women should not get offended behind that, because that's the structure they've been living for 38, 40 years. So that structure is built in their mind. So we as women sometimes need to back and be the woman and not the mother. Because personally, I've been incarcerated since I was 17 years old, and I come home, I'm 50 some years old. Somebody to hear my ears to say, "Oh, don't put your shoes right there. Oh, don't fold your clothes up to the wall. Honey, these are not trays. This is what you call a plate." See, sometimes we need to let them breathe,
Mhm.
because some of these men are coming home, their mom is gone, their dad gone. They don't even know the majority of their family no more. When you incarcerated at 17 and you coming home at 50, that used to be there is no longer there. But they want to build that foundation with this woman who, for some reason, cannot understand them. You and Joseph keep working on it. Joseph, don't ever feel as though you're alone, because this woman sitting on the phone, she reminds me of a smaller edition of me, because I never gave up. Even when he took me off his visitors list, the sergeant and the captain and was still letting me in there. And I would go right in there, see him, leave. And he'd be like, "How you get in here? I took you off my visitors list." I said, "You took me off of there, but you didn't have no control over that visitors list, because I still got there."
Mm.
So at the end of the day, it wasn't all about me. It was all about what I want and who I wanted to be with. Like I said, stay strong, Joseph, because when you think that there's a dark mountain, then you see the sun shine through. You, Gabriel, I applaud you. I really applaud you
Thank
for
you.
everything that you're doing for him. You don't always have to have physical contact to say you love somebody.
Exactly.
That phone call, I went to a function one time and I never forget it, and I still got the bed. He gave me a bed, and I'm telling you, I keep that bed just like it ain't no tomorrow. And it reminds me, it does remind me of those days, but you know what? I tries to block all it out and I move on with life.
Mhm.
I have a man that I would, I would die for him every day. We leave out to work together. We come home together. The only thing the difference is that he works for the city. I works for a hospital. If I
Mhm.
was not on this phone with y'all, right where he laying right there, I'll be right there watching Family Feuds right there. We like night and day. And it's not like he doesn't go out with his friends and stuff. It's not like I don't go out with my friends and stuff, because I do. I go out with my sisters, and then once I leave there, he's like, "Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?" So whatever you go through, you and Joseph work it out together. When you feel as though you lonely and stuff, talk to him. Because there's a lot of times I felt that way. I would say to him, "How would you feel if I went out with so and so and stuff, and something occurred?" But I'm like you. It wouldn't occur because I'm not going to let it. Because my first words was, "You can say hi goodbye to me. You can call me all you want, but don't ever fall in love and don't say you love me because I don't love you."
Right.
And that's how I keep it.
Yeah.
Because he's not saying to you,
No, go ahead, Toy. Go ahead.
saying to you, don't have fun, enjoy your life. What he's saying is there's a boundary. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
so that's what he's basically he's basically, I hear it, Joseph. I hear he's basically thinking about how much longer can you hold on with him not being there for you, as long as you want to. As long as your heart say this is the man for me, go for it.
Right.
Go for it.
Now we got a actually we got some comments coming and I want to read them because we're almost done. But Kay said, God bless you, Joseph. God bless you, Toya, Joseph, and Gabrielle. I love the beauty in this. Joseph, you're a God. Sit in it. Stay divinely dangerous. You're doing beautiful. Keep your spiritual tools to self preserve. I'm so proud of you. And she said, as well as her husband, they're both proud of you as well. Um, and Toy, she's saying this, she's proud of you and your husband, and thanks you and your husband for what you're doing tonight. Then we have some comments from Twitter that I wanted to read before we go. This is such a beautiful and honest conversation with a number of individuals sharing their stories, the conversations we don't hear about but desperately need. And Gabrielle, this lady, I got to pull it up. This lady sent a message for you that I want to read to you because this is really a blessing. Let me find it. Wow, let me get to it. But she's sending you a gift. Oh, here it is. She said, so this is for you, Gabrielle. She said she's going to send you. She's going to send it to me so I can give it to you. $100 for you to have spending money when you come to Baltimore.
Oh,
Um, She
Oh
said,
my gosh.
God moved me to do that for her and to let you know that you are not forgotten. And this is somebody who's watching us on Twitter. So I'm going to definitely make sure I give that to you. So now you got to come.
Oh
You got
my
to
goodness. Whoever that is, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I definitely look forward. And I definitely look forward to getting your number, Miss Toy. And I'm gonna come up in May. And I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate it all because it's not easy, but hearing hearing your story and your husband's story, just it gives me hope, and it gives me hope to just keep pushing, because I like I said, I know our day is coming. I know he's going to be outside of those walls one day. I know he is, and I'm willing to wait as long as it takes, and he knows that. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes, and I appreciate hearing stories like yours, Miss Toy, because it really it gives me hope. It really does, and it gives me just this just passion and just keep going. To know that other people have been in my shoes and have made it through. So I appreciate you, Lady J. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the comments. It just it warms my heart, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You are welcome. And unfortunately, we have to close out because I have another show that's coming on. They're waiting in the background. But is Joseph still there?
He's here.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still here, Miss Lady J.
Yeah, so Joseph, I just want you to know that we are, we're out here, we're working for you as hard as we can to make sure that you come home to your beautiful wife. And she is so beautiful. We want to make sure that, and we are going to support her. And that's the one thing I want you to know too, that I know you're concerned, about her being here, but I want you to know that she's going to be surrounded by really strong women who are going to support her. We're going to check in on her to make sure that she's okay. I'm going to make sure that she gets Toy's number. And I know Toy is going to make sure that she, checks up on her. So I just want you to know that even though you're inside, and I know how bad you want to be out here protecting her, just know that she has a bunch of people around her. And we're going to make sure that she's good. And I mean that, Gabrielle, if you need something, don't be afraid to ask us. Don't be afraid to ask for it, whatever you need, like Tori said, if you need to talk, you need some food, you need some money, don't be afraid to ask us, That's what we're here for.
I
So,
appreciate
yeah. And we will
it.
make sure. Also, Kay is on here as well. Kay's fiance is incarcerated. He was on the phone, but I'm not sure what happened. We kept getting disconnected. So maybe we can get him on next week. But Kay has all been in the comments as well, and she's dealing with that situation of having her fiance on the inside. But
Yeah.
Kay, I want to extend that invitation to you as well, because I know you do live in Maryland, to come out to this event that Toy is having. I think you're going to find it very helpful and beneficial to come out and be a part of it. I'm going to be there. So I'll be looking for both of you. And Joseph, you hang in there. Just remember the words that Toy and Hassan spoke to you tonight. Hassan has been there, been right there where you are. So just know that we got both of y'all.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. And please make sure I get that information. And I'm going to stay in touch. And I look forward to meeting you in person, Ms. Toy.
I sure will. I will see you on that night. And just like I said, before that night get here, anything that you want to, just like a lady said, anything that you want to talk about or anything you have to, just if you feel down or if you need, even if he say, hey, my money on my phone getting low, that's all you have to do, honey, is reach out to us, because that's what we have, a supportive system. We help each other. We pull the strength in each other. Okay?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No problem.
She actually drives from Pennsylvania to come down to testify. What is that, like a 3-hour drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so she's doing a lot. And I know sometimes it can get hard financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, but your resources are here, Gabrielle and Kay. So make sure you use your resources, tap into your resources.
Thank you
Um,
so much.
yeah, definitely do that. I'm going to talk to you about some other stuff offline. And, but anyway, everybody, Hassan, before we go, is there anything you want to say to Gabrielle and Joseph before we go off the air?
Communication is the key. Communication is the key. Always communicate openly. If you feel some kind of way, y'all talk about it, y'all discuss it. Don't keep it bottled up inside you, because it will just get worse. So just communicate openly. That's my advice.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
This Lady J.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you and thank you, and I really appreciate the time that you have given us to experience this moment, and the words that you all shared, Mr. Hassan, Miss Toy, yourself, Lady J. Man, please take care of my baby, and my soul will forever be in debt to y'all, man. And I just never had nothing like this. I never had anything. I never had any help. And I appreciate it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful, man. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Listen, I'm a lot older than both of y'all, so I'm auntie now. So, so that's why I said, if you need anything, you let me know. And if I can't get it, believe me, I will make sure that you have it. because there are resources all around. There are so many people out here who are willing to help and support. Like it's unbelievable. So, even for people who may be listening and you're not on the phone with us, you're not, online, you can reach me at that number. It's 443-297-4753 if you want to come on and talk and share. That's what these moments are for, because we want to be able to be here to help you through everything that you're going through. We want to be here to support you, and also let the person know who's on the inside that we got you. We got your loved one, and when you come out, they're going to be good. We're going to give them back to you. And so, just hanging there. And I think Hassan or Toy said it. Work on your case. Work on your case. And I know that Gabrielle is working on it as well. But Gabrielle and Joseph, anything you want to say to Toy and Hassan before you go?
I just really want to say thank you. Like from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Like your words are just they're so encouraging and so inspiring, and I thank you. I really do, and I thank you for just opening that line of communication. 'Cause like I said, it's not easy to find people that you can really relate to, especially going through this. So I really appreciate the both of you, and I look forward to seeing you in May.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just want to say, man, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your advice. And may Allah reward you abundantly. It means a lot to me. It's something that I'm hold on to. It's moments and memories that I will have forever. This really mean a lot to me. Just the time and just hearing, you guys' story. It's such an inspiration, especially being in this place and knowing that, man, you made it through here. That you came in here and made it out of here. Y'all stuck together. Something that I dream for, something that I wish, something that I pray to Allah for daily. And to know that you got it, that Allah gave it to you, I know that He can give it to me. And I just want to thank y'all, man. I really appreciate it. May Allah reward y'all abundantly. And me.
All right.
Amen.
And
Keep your head up, Joseph.
Toy,
All right, I will, bro.
Toy, can you give us the information one more time about the event in May and how they
Uh,
can?
okay, they can. The event is May the 21st. They can contact me at 443 401 4692. Matter of fact, when we get off the phone and you give her my number, she can send it to me, and I'll send her the flyer and the other young lady the flyer, and that way, because the way I have it set up, I'll have them at the table that I want them at, and that way I'll know that they're there.
Okay.
Okay.
And I will, Kay, I know that you're probably still listening. I will pay for your ticket to make sure that you're able to come, because I know it gets expensive paying for the commissary, phone calls, and all of that. So you don't have to worry about your ticket. All you have to do is come. And I will put you all in the group chat so you can talk to Toy. All right. But everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We went over a little bit, but it was worth it. Um, Miss Toy and Mr. Hassan, all I can say is you two are absolutely amazing. I'm so thankful that I ran into you. I'm so thankful and so grateful. And I love your spirit. I love the love that you have for each other. It helps somebody like me, because I always think love is dead. It's done passed me by, but maybe it might come by one day. But thank y'all so much, and I just pray that you would continue to be blessed for blessing so many other people. And Joseph, we love you. We are supporting you. We're back in Annapolis, I think, on Monday or whatever day it is next week. I think we're down there 2 days next week. And always know that when we go down there, we're fighting for you. We are fighting for you. And
Really
Gabrielle,
appreciate that, Miss Lady J.
you're welcome. Gabrielle, you have my number, so you can call me at any time.
Yeah.
Kay, same thing. Um, Call me at any time. Monty, all of you guys, call me at any time. So, everybody, thank you for joining us. Peace and blessings to all. Remember to Thank you. Somebody said this was a great show tonight on Twitter. Thank you so much. Remember to look at those bills. Go to the Maryland legislator online and you'll be able to look and see all of the bills that we've been talking about because I want you to be able to go there, come down with us, and we do provide transportation. We will let you know for sure what day it is, and I'll put up all of the transportation information so you all can come. But thank you so much. This is the where you would go to look up all of the bills. All right. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Everybody be blessed. Have a great week. My name is Dr. Lady J, and stay tuned for the next show, which is called Unchained Voices with Miss Gwen. And Miss Gwen has a very special guest coming on tonight. Oh man, let me pull his name up because I know Hassan and Toy know him. Let me pull his name up real quick. James Wells. They call
Yes, yes.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is going to be on. He has an amazing story, and he also has a book. So he has a book signing coming out. And Joseph, he spent a lot of years in prison. I think he told me like 40 something years in prison.
42.
42, yeah, 42 years. I just met him in Annapolis a few days ago. So he's going to be on the next show, on the morning show. So y'all stay tuned. As soon as we sign out of here, we're going to go right into the next show. But everybody have a good night. Have a great night. Again, my name is Dr. Lady J. Yes.
One thing real fast. Make sure everybody call your local legislators and tell them you want to support the abolishment of felony murder. SB 850, the Youth Accountability and Safety Act.
Yes, absolutely. SB 850, Senate Bill 850. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody. Take
Good
care.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Just wanted to let you know that the host of this show appreciates the time that you've spent with them. Now, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with everything that we're doing. And most of all, thank you for tuning in to What Up Baltimore online radio, where the people have the power.